Live from the 2023 Women's Leadership Summit presented by the Greater North Fulton Chamber of Commerce, it's time for North Fulton Business Radio. Now here's your host.
And hello again, folks. John Ray here at the Women's Leadership Summit, sponsored by the Greater North Fulton Chamber of Commerce. And this is the, I guess, third or fourth?
It's the third.
Third, yeah. Thank you, Rebekah, for bailing me out there. But they're getting bigger and better than ever. And I think my guest here, Rebekah Anderson with the Chamber, would agree. Rebekah?
Oh, absolutely. I think the women's climate in North Fulton is large, and they want to show up and they want to have opportunities for themselves. And that's where the Chamber feels like we can fill a need and fill a space. And so we, of course, want to build on success and be representative of what the women in this community need. And I think we've accomplished that here today.
Yeah, I think so. Now, we're drawing down to the end here of this event. Talk about what's happened. For those that didn't make it, let's make them jealous they didn't come.
I'd love to do that. We decided this year, instead of breaking out into breakout groups, that we would intentionally place 3 really strong keynotes that people would be glad to sit through 3 keynotes in a row. We broke them up with breakouts so that people could get around and get some motion involved. But our feedback from last year was that it was hard to choose which breakout to attend, and that everybody wanted to get the same information, and with breakouts you have a fear of missing out. And so to avoid FOMO, this year we were really intentional about putting impactful messages together. And so we kicked off the day with an attorney that is also in membership here at the Chamber. Her name is Jennifer Gore-Cuthbert, and I think you had her on earlier.
Yes.
And she was talking about scaling business and how to scale yourself not only professionally but personally, and how women are held back by the societal constraints of expectations to do everything on the list, because we can do everything. And I've found that really to be true in my own life as well. But just because you can doesn't mean you should. And a lot of women are jack of all trades, master of none.
Right.
And the end of that quote is in favor of the jack of all trades, however, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. But I think a lot of people resonate with that feeling that they have to do everything. And it's super overwhelming. So to hear from somebody talk about how she started in her guest room with her child in her lap as she scaled her business was really great. She's super successful. We're happy for her, and we're glad that she shared that message with our crew.
Yeah, that was a great message. And she was very encouraging of business owners to scale, talking about how it's easier, in her mind, to run a bigger business. And a lot of business owners don't think that. Yeah.
When you run a big business, you're not in charge of the vision necessarily. You have a board, or you have a governing body. You have a group of people who are responsible with you. But when you run your own business, you are the sole provider, visionary, planner, CEO, CFO, all of the things. And when you have to bet on yourself like that and depend on yourself, then it's really easy to get pulled down by all the things that cloud your mind, that come in on your calendar on a day in and day out. You find yourself in the weeds quicker than you realize. And suddenly it's hard to be the visionary because you're doing all the tactical things. And so that was part of her message too, was to get out of that tactical space, find the things that you're really good at, that fulfill you, that make you happy, that carry through that vision, and hire the right team and surround yourself with the right people who can do the things that you're not good at, or that you don't like, or that aren't in your zone of genius, because it's their zone of genius. So it's fulfilling for them. Yeah. And you put that team together, and then all of a sudden it becomes easier to be the visionary that you had always intended to be.
That was such a great message. You mentioned the 3 keynotes, and we won't go through all of them, but what was very interesting about the way you had everything structured was there was plenty of networking time too between each keynote.
Yeah. We found that people want intentional networking time. However, when you walk into a room full of 150, 200 people, it can be intimidating to say, instead of talking to the friend that I know and I see, that's the easy choice, to go up to somebody that you haven't met and said, hey, we should connect. But that's how you expand your sphere of influence. And so if you stay in that comfort zone, you don't get that opportunity. But we have found, working with our women's committee and going back and forth on feedback, that if we say to them, this is what we want you to do, here are the prompts that you should use when talking, let's answer this question together. It's not them. saying they want to network. It's the chamber said, I have to do this, so I'm going to. So it's not awkward. We're all doing it.
Yeah,
we call it intentional networking.
Yeah.
But we found that people really enjoy that because then they're forced out of that comfort zone, not because of their own will, but because somebody else tells them that they need to. So then it's socially acceptable and totally cool to walk up to a stranger and say, hi, I'm so-and-so.
Yep.
Let's connect because the chamber's making us. So.
That's right. We have to do this. So
obligatory.
Yeah, no, I love that. And giving people those prompts is always good. Even if you're outgoing, it's good to have, a basis off which to talk to each other.
Yeah. I mean, I had a mentor that would say to me, Rebekah, if I call you, I'm not calling to trade recipes. And I think that's an important thing to keep in your head when you're networking, especially at an event like this, when you're in a room full of women who want to succeed and expand on their career. That's a place where you want to create that peer network. But you don't want to get together and talk about the weather. I'd love to talk about UGA football all day long, but it's not going to help me professionally.
Right.
What I need to talk to these women about is, what's happening in your business that's making it scalable? Or what challenges are you facing? Maybe we're facing the same ones. Maybe you have experience that I don't. Or you have a connection that could help me with a problem. Talking about the weather in UGA football just isn't going to get that done.
Yeah, for sure. So the timing of this event seems really appropriate. Here we are right at the end of November, and I think everyone starts thinking ahead toward their 2024 goals and what they're going to do differently. And this, I don't know if was originally planned this way or not, but the timing seems great for the attendees.
You know what I like to say is we're in that time of gift giving and shopping, and everybody's getting gifts for each other. This day is a gift for themselves, for the women to come and to invest in themselves. And it's perfect timing for building that vision board, thinking about your 2024 goals, getting this little bit of a bit of fresh air and this little bit of energizing right here in a season where everything can feel like a race to Christmas, a race to New Year's.
Right.
It's really nice to be able to take a step back and realize, hey, I'm doing a great job. I don't have to do everything myself. And it's time to think about that vision, what I need to take the next step, and what I see in my life that I need to bring to myself professionally and personally.
Yeah, that's terrific. One of the things I always, when I talk to women business owners about their interest in possibly joining the Greater North Fulton Chamber, one of the things I tell them is that the women in business activities and initiatives at the chamber are not just a box check, right? And that's the way they are some places, not here.
Yeah, no, I think it's indicative of the fact that we have a lot of female leadership within the chamber itself. Shows that women in business here are very serious about their careers, about their lives. And that's something that we at the chamber, not only as a staff full of a lot of women, want to respect, but to nurture and to foster. And to that end, instead of us telling our members what it is we think they should have and what they want, we have a whole committee dedicated to ensuring that we're addressing the problems that women have in their careers in this region, and how can we fulfill a need to improve on those things and to address those challenges, and also where can we serve them best? Do they need networking? Do they need leadership workshops? Do they need opportunities to network and expand that sphere of influence? What is it that they need from us? And so that committee is really good at giving us that feedback. And this year we really concentrated on that, and I think it's been felt in the elevation across the year. And so we're looking forward to 2024. We have a lot of new members on the team. The chamber team used to be 6 people. We're 13 people a year later.
Wow.
So there's a lot more manpower to be able to get behind some of these initiatives. Or woman
power, too.
Woman power. Yeah. Businesswoman power.
Yeah, that's
to
right.
get behind some of those initiatives that we've always dreamed of being able to do, and now we actually have the space and the time to really fulfill those.
Yeah, for sure. And one of the things that you're looking for is folks to apply, right, to be on the committee, and always looking for volunteers, right?
Yeah, of course. Our committee, like most committees, is a January through December commitment. This is the first time that we've had so much interest that it's been time for us to set a rule of guidelines of expectations and how many people can we have on the committee and how often they meet. And there's a lot more structure going into it. And so, again, just that piece of being intentional with a piece of program that's really important to us. We're excited to kick that off in 2024. So if you're listening and you're thinking this is something you want to get involved in, you can find more information under the Women's tab on our website, gnfcc.com.
Awesome. You answered the next question I had, which is where folks can go to find more information, and you just answered that question.
Well, the website's really good. You can find us on social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn as well.
Terrific. Rebekah Anderson with the Greater North Fulton Chamber of Commerce. Rebekah, congratulations on a fantastic event. You did a great job. I know this is the kind of thing where when the end of the day comes, you're delighted you did it, but you're ready to be done, right?
Yeah. I woke up excited this morning. Am I looking forward to the wine reception? Yes. It's been a great one because our middle keynote talked about body language, so I'm really excited to get into this wine reception that's about to kick off and see how people use those body language tips. Yeah. And I've already found myself thinking that my arms weigh 80 pounds, just like the keynote said they would, because I'm not paying attention to where they are most of the time.
I know it. I heard that part about the hands in the pockets, so I that what got me. So I got it. This has been great, and it takes a lot of work to plan an event like this, and so congratulations on the great job you did.
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. And shout out to the team, because Vernon, Lisa, Tori, everybody who contributes, it's a team effort for sure. Yeah,
for sure. Rebekah Anderson, the Greater North Fulton Chamber of Commerce. Rebekah, thanks again.
Thanks, John.